Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. This is your authors, Rebecca Wells Phillips, Rachel Blue, and Boo Black, coming to you live from Asheville, North Carolina. And this is Rebecca's Rodeo, where I talk to you about the ups and downs of being an independent author in Western North Carolina, and also about just being human. So today's a very special day. It's April the 15th. It's the day that you give the government even more money than what they've been taking from you all year long, interest free. Yeah, so good luck with that. I filed, I don't know, maybe I think it was the 1st or the end of March. I don't even know when I filed. I filed sometime in March, and I did not get my small refund until it was almost a month later. So slow. I was fearful that I wouldn't even get that because of the war. I thought, well, they could always be like, we need the money for the war. And I was like, oh, I need the money to pay bills. So anyway, I am out and about. Today is Wednesday, again, April 15th. It's my day off. And as usual, I've got a day packed full of errands and things that I've got to get done. And first on the list is an eye appointment. Yes. So I have this awesome eye doctor. I love him dearly. And so it's just crazy because, you know, when you're a diabetic, depending on your blood sugars, your A1C, your vision changes on a dime. And so this poor man, it's like if I go in there, my A1C is like 8.5, 8.6, which is where it was, then it's like I can't see anything. So then he has to make everything stronger. Plus, I'm 54 years old. So, you know, my eyes are changing anyway, and I need help, right? Mainly with close-up things. Like, I have to use readers when I'm out and about. So anyway, I'm like, okay, my eyes were perfect. Well, then about, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I started realizing I was really struggling to see things that were about an arm's length away, which is weird. It just started doing that. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, if you've been following me, you know that as a type 2 diabetic, I used to be on insulin. I was doing about 45 milligrams of insulin a day. And I was on Ozempic at the same time. I did not have the weight loss like most people do on Ozempic. And the insulin just kept going up and up and up and up. I mean, 45 milligrams, that's a lot. So my endocrinologist said, let's try Mount Jaro. And I'm like, I didn't want to. Like, the first time he mentioned it, I said no, I didn't want to. I was just tired of all these shots, you know. It's not a lot of shots, but still, I felt like if Ozempic didn't work for me, why would Mount Jaro? So I put it off for months before I finally said, okay, I'm willing to try it. So he puts me on Mount Jaro. I think we're going on about 2 years of being on Mount Jaro. And so I started losing weight. Well, you know, at first it was, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. But then it became, I've lost 50 pounds. And now I've lost 65 pounds. Okay, let's hold it there. Let's just stay where we are. I went from a size 18 to now I'm a size 8. I can't afford to buy a bunch of new clothes. Well, anyway, now my A1C went from like an 8.6 to a 5.6, which means my blood sugars are controlled and it's almost like I'm a non-diabetic. Apparently, this has caused my eyesight to get all wonky because I'm guessing my eyesight improved now because of the lower blood sugars. So now I get to go into my eye doctor and be like, I'm blind as a bat. We got to adjust these contacts because my A1C went from an 8.6 to a 5.6 and I can't see anything close up. I can see things far off wonderfully. So me driving, don't worry, I'm driving great. Hey, Robert, you're not in any danger of me driving. It's just like I said, things that are like an arm's length away, I'm having trouble reading. So I'm gonna be like, Doc, my A1C went from an 8.6 to 5.6. We gotta do something. So that's my first thing I've got to do today is go get me some contacts that I can actually see in to read or to actually work, because I've been like having to squint like this. What else? I'm gonna call or email the copyright office and find out where my copyright ISBN number is for Dragonfly Passion, because I could have just got a regular ISBN number just like that within seconds, and I could have already published Dragonfly Passion, but I was trying to copyright, but the government, I don't know, I'd say maybe they laid off half the copyright office and there's not enough people there to process copyright. I don't know. I'm going to try to reach out today and find out where my ISBN number is that I paid $35 for. What else? I'll probably end up working tomorrow. I'm doing a lot of overtime to try to pay off some bills. Because I've told you guys I overextended myself and my credit trying to get Hurricane Helene resiliency after the storm part 1 out. So instead of going and filing bankruptcy, which people keep saying, just file bankruptcy, let it go. I'm like, no, I don't want to, because that means I failed. I mean, I've done bankruptcy before when I first got married 30 some years ago, but this is my business. It's my book. It's my books. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I don't want to have to file bankruptcy because I overextended on what I spent on trying to promote my books. Okay. So I will work overtime as much as I need to get some things taken care of. Hopefully I can get my credit score back up to 830 instead of it being like 530. That's a major shock. You spend all your life trying to build up your credit score, and then something happens and bam, it drops. And you know what else happens? Let's say you're going through a hard time, like you go through a divorce after 32 years of marriage and you lose your husband's income. And, you're trying to make ends meet, but you're also trying to pay your bills. And you seek help. You go through a debt settlement company. Well, they send out letters to all your creditors and let them know that you're having difficulty. And so what happens is they may not close your account, but they will lower the credit available to you. Well, by them lowering the amount of credit that they've given you, that means if let's say your credit card had is a $20,000 limit. Yeah, I had one that was $20,000. And you spent $8,000. You're trying to make payments on that $8,000. Well, then the debt settlement company sends a letter to your creditor, and the creditor drops your credit available to you to $8,500. You were already at an $8,000 limit of $20,000. So when they did that, that puts you at, your credit usage has now increased. Therefore, you're at risk. You're a risk. So that means your credit score goes down. You had $20,000 available. You had spent $8,000. They got the letter saying that you're struggling to make payments, and then they lowered the credit available to you. I had a gas card that had a limit of $500, and them fools dropped my credit limit to $100. I had, I think, $60 on there that I was trying to pay off, and they dropped it to $100. So I look like this horrible, horrible risk of a person just because the creditors see me as a risk. And so they just took away all their credit and made my credit usage soar. So yeah, 830 was my credit score. It is now 530. Okay. I tell you what, I should have never got married. I keep thinking, like, if I had gone to college, which I did. I went to college, you guys. Got a double degree, bachelor degree of arts, communication arts with broadcast journalism and English. If I had just came out of college and went straight to work and didn't focus on getting a husband, I don't know where I could have been. I mean, I could be this journalist or something on NBC News. I don't know, but bottom line is I was so, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but I was raised as a Baptist, and I was taught that marriage and having children were the most important things that a woman could ever do. And I'm not saying that that's not true. It's just that by me going to 4 years of college and then getting married, I got comfortable. I got comfortable with a man paying for everything, even though I worked. His income's like 3 times more than me. So when you're married, you don't care about that. You're like, hey, that his 3 times more income is good for me, right? And so I had my baby. I have a 31-year-old daughter. Now I've got 2 granddaughters. And so I did everything that the Bible said for me to do. I did everything that I was raised to do. I followed, the script. But in the meantime, I lost me. I lost my identity. I didn't write books or focus on my writing. I focused on raising a family. Nothing wrong with that. But then let's say you get divorced after 32 years of marriage. It is like you just graduated high school, because you're having to learn how to budget for yourself and do everything on your own. I feel like I just graduated from high school and I'm starting all over. It's rough. And I'm 54 years old. Right now, I'm just worried about getting my credit score up before I die, because I really don't want to go to the grave with a 530 credit score after having an 830 credit score. Which I know you guys are like, why is the credit score so important? The higher your credit score, the lower everything will be. If you want a car, your car loan is going to pay so much more, and your interest rate is going to be so much lower. You want to buy a house, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Your credit score is good, and as long as you have income, it's pretty easy. There are so many things that people don't realize, that even car insurance, if your credit score is a certain point or low enough, your car insurance is higher just because they see you as a risk. I could list everything that the credit score can affect, but most people don't realize that until something happens and your credit score is lower. So there's a little education there. So yes, I will continue to write books, but I will never, ever, ever, ever spend $20,000 on a project, credit card or not. I'll learn my lesson. Yeah. So, all right. What else we got going on today? Driving all over. How are y'all doing anyway? Are you all right? Are you holding it together? I don't know what's going on. I keep hearing about that Strait of Hormuz and the gas, and I'm just fearful we're going to have boots on the ground. I don't want people on the ground dying in Iran. But apparently soldiers have already been injured and killed over there. And so I still don't understand why we're over there. I don't want to be over there. Like, I don't know. It's like when you're in high school, right? When you're in high school and you're like with a group of friends, and let's say one of your girlfriends has a beef with another person, and that girlfriend's like, hey, I want to go beat her ass. We all come back me up. It's like, when I was in high school, I was like, no girl, no, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So, I'd stay out of it. Right? So this whole thing with Iran, I'm like, okay, so Iran is the bully, I guess, maybe. No, I don't know. It seems like Israel's the bully and Iran's your little friend. I just don't know who the enemy is, whether it's Israel or Iran. I don't know who it is, but I'm not sure what we're fighting for. Or or where our beef is. I mean, I understand. Okay, so I understand that we don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. That's basic. But in my mind, I don't understand why it's okay for us to have nuclear weapons, but no one else. Or only certain countries can have nuclear weapons, but others can't. And I think, I don't know, I know South Korea? That's the one that's Kim Jong-un, right? So they have nuclear weapons, right? And he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? So, Iran? I'm confused. Can anybody explain that to me? Please explain to me why we're fighting with Iran. Yeah. So, and I know I'm just rambling, but there's so much stuff happening in the world and I don't understand. Like, this Stalwell, Democrat Stalwell, is that his name? That they said he raped or did something to 2 of his staffers or whatever, and he's going to resign from Congress. And I'm like, is anybody respecting women? Is everybody out there grabbing women and doing whatever that they want to do to women? Is that 2026? Is that where we are? Is that where it's acceptable to take what you want from a woman? And don't even get me started on the children. Does anybody understand what's happening? I just worry that we're all going to hell in a handbasket. But then I always say that, it seems like Earth is Satan's playground. Therefore, perhaps Earth has been hell all along. And we just didn't know it. How many of y'all have watched The Matrix? The movie The Matrix. I go back to that because I keep thinking, are we living in a Matrix? Or Men in Black. Did you see Men in Black, the original Men in Black, where the aliens were, I guess, controlling everything? There were aliens amongst us and we didn't know. And of course, at the end of that movie, you've got the Earth, I guess the Earth spinning, the globe spinning, and you've got these 2 or 1 alien, more or less, controlling what's going on. And I'm like, are we pawns? I mean, I love chess, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to be a pawn. And how come we're so separated? We don't have segregation right now. We don't, as far as I know. We don't have any racial segregation. Of course, in Mississippi, that was questionable because their prom was segregated. But anyway, so why are we so separated? Why can't we get along? Why is it, this group against that group? I mean, it's always been this. Like, it's always been out there. There's always been this thought of, okay, black people don't like white people, or Mexicans don't like this, or, and I'm just like, but why? Why? Because I'll talk to anybody. If you're kind to me, I'll be kind to you. If you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to you. Y'all, life is too short. What? Life is too short. I could leave the eye doctor appointment and go out here on the street and get run over and killed and be gone within the hour. Do I want to be mean and hateful and spiteful and angry in that 1 hour time that I have on this earth? No, I don't. I mean, you may not like me because I'm black. You may not like me because I'm big mouth. There could be so many reasons for you not to like me. That's fine. But just be respectful. That's all I ask. Or just don't be mean. You don't even have to talk to me. Just don't be mean. Whatever happened to that? I mean, I know I was raised with my parents' switch and leather belt and, and they just taught me that no matter what, just get along. And that's what I was taught to do. When I was in school and people were calling me the N-word, and like from elementary school until 5th grade, I would get into fist fights. Or 4th grade, actually. And I would get in trouble for getting in fist fights because someone called me the N-word. Then I would get in a fight, and then I'd get sent to the principal, and then the principal would paddle me. Yes, we had paddles back then, wooden paddles. I would get my butt beat by the principal for getting in a fight, trying to stand up for myself because someone called me the N-word. And then guess what happened when I went home? I got my butt beat when I got home. My parents beat me because I got in trouble at school and got paddled by the principal. So I got home and I got either the switch or the belt. Why? Well, because someone called me the N-word. That made me angry. We got in a fight. My parents were like, no, this is not acceptable. So then after having my butt beat multiple times in 2 different locations, I learned that if you call me the N-word, I just ignore it and go on. And to this day, I'm in that same mindset. I don't make a big deal about it. You know why? Because you have to pick your battles. And that's what I worry about right now, is it seems like people don't know how to pick their battles. Like some people get offended by what you say on the social media, or they get offended because you support the Democrats, or they get offended because you wore purple today. And people are just constantly angry, constantly fearful, constantly just anxious, and it's just a constant thing. Where are your battles? You can't fight every battle. You can't be angry at every little thing. Everything that's posted, every person that believes this or follows this. You can't. You have to pick your battles. And people are just like all over the place battling and not living, not loving, not, surviving, not growing. They're just angry. People are so angry. Why? Why are they angry? Why are we angry? I'm waiting on an answer. Nobody has an answer, but these are just things I've noticed. You look at someone wrong and they get angry. Why are you staring at me? I even got to the point where, like, if someone like skips the line or jumps in front of me at shopping or grocery store, I don't even care. I don't care. I just scroll on my phone and think, who is this a-hole? What? Well, it's all right. It takes a lot to make me angry, y'all. I have learned to let most of it roll. Well, almost all of it. I'm trying to think what would cause me to be most angry. Oh, children. Yeah. If you are bullying children, touching children, treating children like they should be our baby factory, that makes me angry. That's the line. Right there. As long as you don't cross that line, we're all right. All right, I got to get my butt in here to my eye doctor appointment. Sorry for being so, deep today and everything. These were things that were on my mind that I wanted to put out there and see what y'all think about, If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hey, Donald. Send me a text, send me an email, RebeccaWellsPhillips@gmail.com. Just let me know what you're thinking about. What are things that you're concerned about? What's your line? What's a line that people can't cross? What's your battle? Like when you pick to get angry, what's the one thing that will make you angry that you will stand up for? I'm just curious. All right. Love you guys. Bye.